Good morning. I wanted to jump on and over the lab from yesterday, the PhET Waves on a String lab. I had a few people that it seemed like they were struggling a little bit with it, so I wanted to go in and make sure that you understand how to do it and what it means, how to make those measurements of those wavelengths, etc. So I'm just going to go over to that lab. I'm clicking on the folder we're in now, our waves unit. Click on yesterday's date, Thursday, 1/20/22. Click on PhET Waves on a String. When you click on that, it has the link to take you to the PhET simulation. So let me click there. It told you on the worksheet to set this side to oscillate and set this side to no end. Okay. Also, if you go back to the worksheet, it says set the left side to oscillate, the right side to no end, so we did that. Fill in the data table by observing the PhET simulation to determine the relationship between frequency and wavelength. The whole point of doing this is this word right here, to determine the relationship between frequency and wavelength. Okay, so notice the frequency is slowly getting higher. 1, 1.25, 1.5, 1.75. It's going up, 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 up. So down here on number 3, when it says, what can you say? This is the only part I wanted you to answer, the very first question. What can you say about the relationship between frequency and wavelength? So all you need to do is write a statement. As the frequency, what is it doing as you go down this chart? It's going 1, 1.25, 1.5. It's getting bigger. It's slowly increasing. Okay? So, your sentence that you start about this relationship, you should say, as the frequency is increasing, tell me what your wavelength is doing. And there should be a pattern with your wavelength numbers. They should be an obvious pattern, so it's obvious. It could be that the wavelength is also increasing, the wavelength is decreasing, the wavelength is anyways, so there's a pattern there, and you have to figure out what it is. And so when you go to the PhET Waves on a String, yesterday I said, I think I set my amplitude up to like 90 or 95. I can't remember exactly which one. But I'm going to set it on 95. And then you start out at, according to this, you start out at 1 hertz. Okay? Once you set the amplitude, don't touch it anymore. Leave it at that level. Leave it the same through the whole measurements that you do for the whole lab. Okay. Also, you want this ruler to come. You want to click on rulers. You want it to be showing. Okay. And so once you start, the only thing you're going to be changing is this frequency. Okay. And it says start at 1.0. I believe it says the first number is 1.0 hertz. So I'm going to go down to 1 hertz. And if you're not sure, you can get it right at the right number by clicking these arrows. You can slide it, but sometimes I can't get it right at the right number by sliding it. Then, all of a sudden, now you have to actually, like somebody asked me, how do I know what the wavelength is? Well, you have to measure it. That's why the ruler is there. So, but you have to measure it by, you have to freeze it or pause it. So I just try to pause it to where you can clearly see like 2 crests, because a wavelength is from crest to crest. Okay, so on this wavelength, notice it goes from, and I just try to make it to where it's an easy to see. So right here, this would be a crest, and this would be a crest. Sorry, I didn't mean to make that come up. So I can start here at the beginning of the ruler and go all the way to right to like 6. So it would be 6 centimeters for a frequency of 1. The next one goes up to a frequency of 1.25. So I'm going to bump it on up there. Whoops, a little bit too high, sorry. Then I start it going again, and I want to freeze it again, okay? And then once again, I want to freeze it where I can get 2 crests and make an easy measurement, okay? If you can get the crest to be right at 0, of course, that's the easiest because then you just take the reading on the ruler. But yesterday, my second reading, I started it at 1. The crest was at 1. Let me see if I can get a good crest here. So here, the crest is at 1, or you could say I'm just going to say 1. And then it ends at 6. Okay, and so I'm not going to start my reading at 0 because the crest doesn't start at 0. It starts at 1. So this is like the ruler. You need to like start your measurement from here. So this would actually be 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 3, 4, 5. So at a frequency of 1.25, it would be 5 centimeters, even though now this crest is at 6, but see, this crest is just at 1, and so I have to take the difference. I have to start right here, so I just count from there and go up, okay? So just because you freeze it and it stops, you don't take that number on the ruler necessarily. You have to take into account where it starts and where it stops. If it doesn't start at 0, then you can't say that the ending crest is that number. Like on this one, I would not say it's 6 centimeters because it starts at 1. So it's 6 minus 1, which is 5 centimeters long. Or you could just start here and count 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then the next frequency is 1.5. So let me go to 1.5. Okay, and then I'm going to start the waves going again. And I want to like pause it where I can make a good measurement. Sometimes it might take several chances to get it to where it's easy to make a reading there. Okay, on this one, it's like this crest is right here at 2, and this crest is at 6 again. Okay, and so I can't say it's 6 centimeters because the first crest, or the beginning of the wavelength, didn't start at 0. It started at 2. So you would start here and make your measurements. So it would be 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 3, 4. So this is actually 4 centimeters, not 6, because I'm measuring from crest to crest. Okay? Now, you go through and you do that for all of these readings. Okay? And just be careful. But you should see that the numbers you get have a pattern to them. They're either slowly doing one thing or they're slowly doing another thing. Okay? And then when you come down here and answer number 3, it says, what can you say about the relationship between frequency and wavelength? You just start your sentence and say, as the frequency, and see, look, as you go down, the frequency is getting higher. It's increasing. So you should say, as the frequency increases, the wavelength does what? And so you list what your numbers are doing. Are they going up? Are they increasing? Are they going down? Are they decreasing? Use your numbers and your data to finish the sentence about this relationship. Okay? I hope that helps. If you have any questions about it, send me a message and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Hope y'all are having a good day.